Christians are encouraged to look forward to the blessed hope. That's the glorious appearing of our great God and Savior, Jesus Christ. We're encouraged to look forward to tomorrow, living with the awareness that Jesus could come at any time. One of the ways we look forward is to track the unfulfilled Bible prophecies. There's 300 or 400 of them. We could expect the world to be moving in the direction that's predicted for the end times. And so we reserve a few minutes on Sunday morning to suggest news or trends that seem to be predicted by our futurist reading of the Bible. We avoid sensationalism as much as possible, obviously, by finding reliable news sources. And we're never saying that the things we report are definitely the fulfillment of prophecy, only that they are things you would expect to be happening. Now, we do know for sure that the Bible describes the future government of the earth to be a global government. It'll be a global government, a global economy. Power will reside in a coalition of nations, and then in one man, the Antichrist. Certain powerful people are trying to rush global government along. They say it is for our own good that we surrender national sovereignty. Case in point, I read an article this week titled, "Largely Unnoticed, Who Moves Forward with Global Governance Plan?" Sounds like who's on first, you know. Well, who did? Who did move forward? Who did? Yeah, that's right, who did? Former Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann sounded the alarm Monday about developments coming out of the World Health Assembly that suggest that the World Health Organization, WHO, is intent on establishing a platform for global governments through healthcare in the wake of the COVID pandemic. Observers are also pointing out that the Biden administration is working to enable the organization to centralize authority, not just for pandemics, but for any health emergency in the hands of the Director General. There's a dual-track process they're following, Bachmann explained. One is through a global pandemic treaty that they're calling an accord. The second is through a package of about 300 amendments to the international health rules. Both lead to the same result. Both lead to the creation of a platform for global governance through healthcare. And it is a web that locks us in, the likes of which we haven't seen before. Bachmann then laid out the WHO's plans going forward. 1 year from this week, they will take a vote, and so they intend to vote for a platform for global government to give themselves power. I heard from Secretary Xavier Becerra, the head of our Health and Human Services, said he wants more biosurveillance. In other words, surveillance of our bodies. And then they want to share that data with everyone in the world. This is highly invasive. They were very clear today. They want very bold language. They intend to have surveillance over our every citizen on earth, and they intend to control us through healthcare. They've got this concept they talk about called One Health. They've got graphics on it that show humans, animals, the earth. One Health. So when decisions are made about healthcare, they have to take into account the earth and what impact would be on climate change. At the same time, she underscored the WHO's emphasis on equity rather than innovations in medicine. The number one word they used besides urgent was equity. They want to have equal outcome for everyone on earth with universal health care. And for those countries that are producing health products, they will need to produce more and give them away to the world. And so this is a real thing. WHO is real, and our government right now is going along with this. And so they're trying to have a global healthcare system, basically, where they take over. And not just for pandemics, but anything they decide is a health emergency that they could declare, and then they can control the movements and the activities of people. Tied into a global economy, and you would have no freedom whatsoever. Klaus Schwab heads the powerful World Economic Forum, WEF. This week I watched him on video say the following: "In this new world, we must accept transparency, even total transparency, banking secrecy. Everything is to become transparent. And you have to get used to it. You have to behave accordingly. It becomes, how should I put it, integrated into your personality. If you have nothing to hide, you shouldn't be afraid." I noticed that none of these guys are being transparent. You know, they're not taking the initiative to say, hey, who was the LifeLock guy? Remember LifeLock? They protect your Social Security number. He put his Social Security number. He says, hey, I believe in my company. This is my Social Security number. Go ahead, hack it if you want to. You know, these guys are like, oh, total transparency. You got nothing to hide, but they're not putting their stuff up. We are witnessing the stage setting for the 7-year time of Jacob's trouble, the Great Tribulation that is described in the last book of the Bible. We're not interested in the politics of this or anything else. I mean, there's a forum for that and there's an interest for that. But here in the church, we're just saying, hey, the Bible predicted that in the end times there would be a global government. And for centuries, people have said that's never going to happen, that's stupid, that's a fantasy, that's an allegory. If you brought it up as a prophecy update, people thought you were, kind of paranoid, conspiracy theorist. Now they're saying it. They're saying, hey, we're the WHO, not the Roger Daltrey WHO, but the other WHO. We're the WHO, we're the WEF. We're going to put global government on you for your own good. And we're going to do whatever we want to by just saying green. Anytime there's an objection, we're going to say green. Well, we got to save the planet or we're all going to die, right? And so their plan is to take over. We're not going to be on the earth during the tribulation. I don't know how much of this kind of stupid stuff we'll see, but we won't be on earth during the Great Tribulation. And the Great Tribulation is what's going to happen, not what other people predict. That 7 years is, we're going to talk about a little bit this morning in the message, but we're going to have been resurrected from the dead or raptured, given our glorified bodies and taken to heaven before that takes place. And so the only real question for us is this: are you ready for the rapture? If not, get ready and stay ready and keep looking up, because ready or not, Jesus is coming.